All right. Hello, everybody. So now, after doing this a couple of times, I understand that it's going to start playing immediately. And then this next thing will be getting the right link out. Oops. Need to just mute myself. Oh, fantastic. Looks like we hit 700 subscribers today. Amazing. So good to see. And then it's going to send this out to the community. What's up? Congratulations on being first. And great job too. We just kicked this thing off and I don't think anyone has the link yet. All right, looks like that should be good enough. Hopefully there aren't any silly spelling mistakes in there. Get that out to the Crusaders. And 1, 2, 3, done. So fantastic. Well, thank you so much for everybody who has joined. Good to see some familiar faces here. Stu, glad that you could make it. Today's video really is meant to be a continued follow-up. There's a camera. Continued follow-through on answering any people's questions about the Pichu launch, being able to go into more information on exactly what we're planning and what we see opportunities we can leverage immediately after Pichu is launched on Kusama, as well as to go over a couple of questions. So he will give people a couple of moments to, oh, that makes sense, YouTube gave the updates. Yeah, give people a couple moments to hop on in, and I'm gonna grab my question list. And thank you so much to Crypto Lady, Stu, Bull Sander, and all of the ambassadors for everything that you do and collecting these questions and making sure to be able to make sure people are taken care of. I mean, you guys are around all hours of the day and night, scattered all over the world. I don't know where Kylin would be without you. So one moment, scrolling through our chats now to find, there's the questions, perfect. And then if you guys have additional questions, would say please drop them into the chat would be the best way to go. So in this video, I think what I'll do is I'll start off going through the questions this time. I haven't decided what is the easiest and what makes the most sense. So we're just going to keep on trying different styles on and collectively take the feedback to see what people like the most. So the questions we have is, who validates Pichu? So Pichu, being on Kusama network, is actually going to be using a series of nominators as we have it set up for now. It's something where as we build out the decentralized data warehouse, we need to be able to plug in, to keep it simple, a bunch of tools to make it to where it's easier for the validation systems to be built. This is part of what we'll actually be stress testing on the Canary network to be able to make sure we've got the right algorithms, the right formulas to make sure that the validation process can be nice and secure as we move forward onto Polkadot. So in the very beginning, there's not going to be any validators set up. We're going to be building this as we go into there. Now, how many Pichu to become a validator? It's not going to be working the same way as Kylin, because Kylin is where the security, I like to think of it as like an outsourced security force, the validator nodes on Kylin. On Pichu, it's more of a testing ground for us to be able to find out how different things work in the wild without having to take the risk of launching it in a hyper intense, secure environment like Polkadot. Now, excuse me. Still getting over this cold. Thank you so much for everyone who's given me life hacks and different things I can do to help move past it. I'm excited to get my voice back. I feel like someone is just squeezing my esophagus from the inside. All right, so next question. What compensation for crowd loaners for waiting 90 days for the rewards to start? So it's something where the crowd loan, they don't, there's not a 90-day delay for the crowd loan. On the crowd loan, it's something where those rewards are going to be 30%. I'd imagine it's a couple of days, pretty quickly after the parachain gets launched. There's a couple of technical things we have to do once the parachain gets won, and then shortly thereafter is a token generation event. As far as the payout goes for rewards, those block rewards are collected from inside of wherever you're going to be participating in the crowd loan. And because they're generated based on block rewards, you can get them after the first day, you can wait a month, you can wait 90 days. Technically, as of every 6 seconds, there'll be an additional allocation of Pichu available. Right, where will partners get Pichu if not available for 90 days? And I'm not sure I understand this question, where the partners are exactly. Pichu is going to be utilized as the queries, what generates the query fees on the network. Now, partners, as far as other applications and such, we're typically collaborating with them in some kind of exchange of value. On our side, we're typically going to be building out data applications with them. On their side, we're usually going to be getting some kind of access, or as of right now, we really want the use case. I'll talk more about that at the end of this Q&A section to go into more detail of the types of projects that we're most excited to be doing for our partners. But it is something where there's not like a partner drop or anything like that. If you begin the payout clock, will you begin the payout clock at parachain win? Yes, so it's something where there is, it's really fast. I don't want to say instantaneous because even the fastest items are run in 6 seconds blocks on the network. At the same time, though, it's extraordinarily fast. I'm going to say a couple of days just to be safe, because that means if someone has to click a button, then even factoring in business hours, it's going to be okay. But it is something where part of us being able to get this set up is to have those rewards ready to be paid out to people participating in the crowd loan. And then how many exchanges list a token that doesn't exist for 90 days? So as of right now, we don't have any exchange listing for Pichu. We will be listing them on Uniswap, and we already have liquidity set aside to be able to support the token. So once we do our token generation event for Pichu, it'll be something where people will be able to purchase it on the decentralized exchanges. And then those are the quick questions I have lined up. Gonna catch up on the chats. I'd love to see how you guys are doing and where in the world you might be from. Thank you so much for hopping onto this chat with us. Let's see. Tell us some news. Appreciate the kind words. So Shane, an ETA for the airdrop for Kylin holders. What I would expect to be conservative is as long as 90 days. Now, I'm basing that off of our current dev resources. At the present moment, we really need to keep the focus on not just launching the Pichu network, but getting the actual marketplace built. So that way people can begin uploading data sets, as well as partners can begin querying those data sets to power their smart contracts or applications. It's something where what we're actively doing right now is hiring. It's a good chance for a shameless plug. We have about 3 positions open right now for Substrate developers. We're absolutely open to communicating and receiving applications from Solidity developers or perhaps off Substrate devs, though as of right now, the immediate availabilities is for people with Substrate Rust experience. So it's something where, assuming that we continue on this path, we do expect to be able to bring more developers on, which will allow us to expand out the features that are needed for everything inside of the network. As I see it, the conservative number is 90 days, because I know that deaf, dumb, and blind would be hard for us not to hit those numbers. At the same time, though, it's something where if I'm looking at it from what time period would I expect it to happen in, I'd imagine way, way less than that. Kind of like how we've been saying Q1 as the date for launching the parachain on Kusama. Once we understood what the exact, once we understood what the exact requirements were to launch a parachain on Kusama, we started saying Q1 because we understood that with the audits and with the things that were needed, it very well could be stretched out. But then we pushed to get it launched as early as this year. And now we'll be getting the process started next week. So I'd imagine something similar here where it'll likely be quicker, but I just couldn't in good faith, look people in the face and say a time that I couldn't stand behind, but I can stand behind this time of 90 days. Oh wow, you're coming in from the Netherlands. It's late over there. I'm so excited to visit. Well, it looks like that's about the questions for right now. So if you guys have any others, please feel to drop them in. And at this point, I'm going to transition to sharing a bit more information about our partners and our plans for Pichu. I'm sorry, my voice is almost out. So if I'm making weird faces, I'm not grumpy or anything. It's something where, but for Pichu, we've got a lot of partners that are already on our books, though many of them are Ethereum-based projects. So while we do have specifications for quite a lot of them, until we have a bridge that's built to something like a Moonriver or another EVM compatible bridge, it's something where it's not the lowest hanging fruit. The best place to start are with other Kusama projects, because they're going to have the data in the same environment. We'll be able to serve them much faster and much more quickly. So as of right now, our intention is to be able to go after a series of use case build-outs, things that we can create that really showcases what's possible with Pichu. So that way we can begin to encourage more developers to join the community and begin building data applications with us. So one of the things we just actually recorded the video today is about a 40-minute presentation that goes over the details of exactly how we see is the most effective way to capitalize off the $1 trillion wealth transfer happening as the off-chain data companies are beginning to participate, and we're beginning to see more demand for enterprise data solutions on blockchain. And everything when it comes to blockchain mass adoption, as early as we are for consumer mass adoption, we're still quite a ways from enterprise mass adoption. I share that because these data solutions, they come in 5 stages. The very first stage being monitoring and reporting, basically taking data from somewhere and painting a pretty picture with it somewhere else. The most profitable way, the most valuable way to utilize data is actually from an operational standpoint, to find out where are there opportunities to perhaps make changes in a product or service, or perhaps it's a different type of offer someone should be making. Maybe it's a risk mitigation. Within blockchain, there's a lot of bots. Being able to quantify where these bots are located, what the actual risk and losses are, can help to create a better user experience. I could go all day and talk for hours about these use cases, but it's something where on Pichu, I bring all this up because we're wanting to get as much material out to help encourage folks to build with our friends on Kusama at first. Now, we are actively looking to expand our relationships with more EVM compatible projects. So that way, once we have the most effective bridge, we can begin serving more Ethereum-based projects. Now, any ideas that the community has, we are open and actively looking to receive those. The Dev Fund is specifically set up to be able to encourage community participation for different solutions. So for example, if somebody has a solution to be able to connect with Ethereum projects from Kusama, absolutely submit a proposal. We've got a lot of Kylin ready to help support these types of projects. Though we also anticipate to actually send out what we're going to call bounties, which is where we will discuss with our partners their exact data needs, build out the specifications of those, write it up into a series of milestones, so that way people can participate and get some experience with building on Substrate Rust, being able to participate with blockchain projects, while also, of course, being able to receive the rewards in the form of tokens. Excuse me. Sorry, my head is absolutely throbbing. I don't know if I'm screaming at people or whispering. Take a quick look at the chats. Hey, Shane. So the snapshot has not been taken, and it won't be taken until we have some kind of an application. What we're leaning towards doing in terms of the snapshot is creating something that's randomized to incentivize people to hodl on to the coins. So we're not quite sure the exact way we build it out. Probably going to be a candlestick auction type situation where at some random point over the course of the month, there'll be a snapshot, and even we won't know when that snapshot occurred until the following month. So that way, month over month over month, we have the most verifiably safe and fair system, since it's something that even we won't choose when exactly those snapshots will occur. Now, that's the current plan, that's the idea, and that seems to be the most fair thus far, but it is something where we're open to ideas and we're actively looking to see what other innovative ideas might be out there. So yeah, it's something we're going back. I guess the final piece I'd say in regards to Pichu is while the building the user interface for the data marketplace is one of the top priorities once we launch on the network, I would say that one of the other pieces that we're really looking forward to doing is setting up hackathons or different types of community events where people can participate in various challenges in creating different types of development solutions. So whether that's building something with Substrate Rust, putting together an Oracle, uploading data into the warehouse, different types of things to interact with Kylin, we'll actually have rewards set up for that. The best way to prepare to being a part of these hackathons and these fun little challenges we'll be setting up is to join our Substrate developers group. If you're not already a part of it, definitely hop into our Telegram and just ask anybody for the link. I'm sure someone will share the link with you, because Sam is actually our lead engineer, is going through and actually training people directly, answering folks' questions. And it's really just an amazing opportunity, a chance to have a brilliant senior engineer basically sitting down and answering your questions. Oh, thank you. A partnership with Reef. So yes, we do have a partnership. I believe you're referring to Reef Finance. I don't know of another Reef off the top of my head. It is something where I need to pick that conversation back up, actually. We haven't spoken in a couple of months, and they are somebody I'd be interested to see how they're doing. Well, everybody, I believe it's about time to wrap up. I know we're at a little bit less than 30 minutes and probably one of our shortest AMAs yet. I'm going to give a little bit more time to see if there's any other questions I can answer or anything else that may have come up at all. I'm just going to check, make sure no one was. All right, fantastic. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hopping on the call today. We'll be doing another live tomorrow, and I expect there'll be even more announcements to put together. This was a bit of a sporadic live to kind of estimate how many people are here in the evening times on Eastern time. I actually wanted to run this test at 7 p.m. Eastern and see if maybe it'd be a bit more favorable time for the Pacific time zone folks, but I don't think my voice is going to make it until 7 a.m. So I went with 5. At the same time, though, thank you so much for hopping on. We likely won't be doing these AMAs randomly all the time. It's more a consequence of my sporadic schedule that makes it to where these AMAs are without warning. What we're doing is testing out right now, is it sustainable to be doing consistent video work like this? At the same time, we're also going to be doing the pre-recorded and scripted videos. We'll be bringing back the partner shout-out videos. Coming up next week, we have Parachains Part 2 and Part 3, as well as a 40-minute presentation going into deep detail about how exactly does Kylin and the data blockchain industry at large leverage the trillion-dollar wealth transfer happening in the big data industry. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up. Hopefully I'll get the volume in my voice back soon. And well, excuse me. Until then, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye for now.